People saying a lot of things, but in the end, you gotta listen to yourself.
Austin, first off, I just want to say congratulations. Elvis has the biggest standing ovation at the Cannes Film Festival. How did it feel to be in the theater last night and have people applaud for so long?
Unbelievably magical. For one, this is my first Cannes, and then two, I hadn't seen the film before. So it was my very first time, and it's been a part of my life for 3 years now, and the amount of work that we put into the film, I just poured my entire soul into this, so I was really nervous. And then to feel that last night, it was honest, I just kept having to pinch myself. It just was such a moving moment for me.
I noticed you got emotional at the standing ovation.
Yeah.
What was going through your head?
A couple things. This film, for me, it's like a love letter to my mom and to Elvis, and to all the people who love Elvis. But my mom was the first one that connected me to Elvis in a way, and she passed away when I was 23. And so having that moment of like, I wouldn't be here without her. She quit her job so I could act. She was my best friend, and I didn't understand grief like that. I wouldn't have been able to play this part. So all those things where I felt like I was able to honor her and him, and the feeling that I knew what his loss felt like when he lost his mom. And I keep saying this, but I've never loved somebody more that I've never met than him. And after spending 2 years with all the good, the bad, and the ugly of him, feeling like my heart is so connected to his. So that moment last night, it really made me emotional, because I wish that he was here to see how loved he is. And that thing that's said in the film, I mean, he really felt that is he gonna be forgotten after he dies?
I'm on before the show, and nobody's gonna remember me.
It's so tragic to me, it's so sad, but it's so nice to see so many people appreciating him.
How did your mom introduce Elvis to you?
So her mom grew up as Elvis, like she's in high school when Elvis is just becoming famous in '56. So my mom and grandma always had these songs playing in the house. And I remember as a little kid like dancing in blue suede shoes and stuff in the kitchen. And
Your audition to Boz was in a bathrobe?
yeah.
What inspired you to do that?
Yeah.
And how did it go?
I'd heard Baz was making the film, and I started researching and kind of pouring myself into it. And my agent had said, you know, Baz has seen you act, but he hasn't seen you sing, and I usually don't sing for anybody. And he said, why don't you record yourself singing something and send it? Because at that point, it was such a broad range. Like, I thought, what do I send to him? And so I filmed myself singing Love Me Tender, and I watched it back, and I thought, this is an impersonation, I can't send that. Then I was kind of mulling this over for the next couple of days, trying to figure out, what could I send? And I woke up from this nightmare that my mom was dying again. And I was just overwhelmed with this grief, and it felt so fresh, and it was that thing where you're like, today's gonna be an awful day. And then I thought, well, what could I do with that? And then I thought, well, Elvis would have felt these things. He would have probably had nightmares just like this, and what would he have done? And he would have poured it into music. And so I'd just woken up, I'm in a bathrobe, and I thought, what if I just take all of this emotion and I sing something? And then I was thinking about Unchained Melody and the words of it, and I thought, I've always taken for granted that that's to a romantic partner. What if I sing that to my mom? And so I sat down at the piano and I filmed that, and that's what Baz watched and got me in the room with him.
And then finally, did you keep anything from his wardrobe, or what was it like wearing the Elvis costume?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, it's incredible wearing it. Just wearing the black leather, you walk different. It's amazing. And Catherine Martin, who's our brilliant costume designer, her attention to detail is second to none on all that. But the moment that I wrapped, Baz brought out a framed, it's the back of the Unchained Melody jumpsuit, which is this medallion on the back, and he gave me that. And so it kind of was this full circle thing where now I'd done it, and now I have that on my wall at home.